Are we recording?
We are now. Thank you, my little pocket rocket. Good woman. Okay, so Todd, just to warm us up a little bit and to get to know you a little bit more, I would like to shoot you a few questions. Forests or beaches, which do you prefer?
Well, I didn't hear exactly what you said. You're kind of coming in a little bit warbly on my side, so I didn't hear what your question was.
Forest or beaches, which do you prefer?
Oh, that's a tough one. I love both, but I'd have to go with forest first.
Okay, awesome. Audio or print?
Audio.
Audio, all the way. I love audio. Pizza or pasta?
Pizza.
What's your favorite pizza?
It's just straight up pepperoni.
Pepperoni, that's very American. Football or ice hockey?
Oh, football.
Football. Skiing or swimming?
Skiing.
I knew that.
Skiing right away. I swam competitively, but definitely skiing. Yeah, wow. I did.
So the Beatles or the Stones?
Beatles.
Beatles.
8 days a week. Come on, I see that behind you.
I know, and you know what? We've got some Scousers on the call as well. So all the way from Liverpool, where the Beatles were born. Westerns or sci-fi?
I'd say westerns.
Ooh, John Wayne or let me see, what's his name? Clint Eastwood.
I gotta go with Clint. I know Clint actually, so I can't.
No way.
If he found out that, I do. I lived in Monterey, California, and Clint was the mayor of Carmel, so I've met him on a number of occasions.
The mayor.
He was the mayor of Carmel. Yeah.
Wow. Beer or wine?
Wine, red.
Awesome. Thank you. Okay, so we are going to kick this off, guys. Honestly, I am not the best interviewer in the world, so I'm not going to even try do that today. I am going to let Todd, I've got a couple of questions for him, but really, I'm going to just let him get into flow, because once you hear him he's in the zone. He's always in the zone, but right now more than ever, his message is like incredible for all of us, for basically for our businesses going forward, what we could, can, and should be doing right now. But basically, Todd, I know a question that I've been getting from a lot of the team right now, and there's a bit of confusion in their minds. They don't feel really comfortable. Some people do, some people don't, but some people are doing it really not in a very tasteful way. We talked about this briefly the other day, where we see a lot of people right now in our industry going out there and trying to find, recruits as far as business builders. And basically, I guess we've a lot of team members who don't feel that they can do that right now because they want to honor people's mindsets where they're at, where they're losing their jobs, etc. What's your thoughts around this? Because we have such an amazing product, which you've been taking the products for a long time. You love our products in Isogenics. What's your thoughts around, going in that direction right now? Or do you feel like we should more concentrate on the product side of things because people are looking for health right now and looking for solutions of wellness? I'm going to just let you go for that.
Yeah, and I'll definitely go on that for sure. And I appreciate the opportunity of being here. I know a lot of you are in Australia. It's one of my favorite countries. I've toured there a few times speaking, and I've been all over Australia. I haven't been to Cairns, but everywhere else pretty much I've been. So now, and here's the other thing. First of all, I want to also say this. I'm a big fan of Isogenics. I actually have known Jim and Kathy Coover since before Isogenics was ever founded. So that's how long I've known them. I mean, you guys have been around for 17 years, I think. So I actually met Jim and Kathy in Carmel, California, which is where Clint Eastwood was the mayor at that time. This is like back in 1992. So I've done a lot of training events for you guys. I'm intimately familiar with the company, with the brand. I've done probably over 40 different Super Saturday events for top leaders in the company throughout the U.S. And look, as far as like right now, that's an interesting question. It's been posed quite a bit. Like, given what's going on, should I be out there building the business and talking to people about the business? My answer is absolutely yes. I think we have a responsibility to be out there doing it. Look, I don't want to get into any kind of doom and gloom, and there's enough conversation around that on the news. But here's the deal, right? right now, network marketing is one of the most viable options for people to make money working from home. I've been to many events over the past couple of years. People have talked about the gig economy. Actually, I was in Australia, had my very most expensive Uber ride from Surfer's Paradise down to Byron Bay. It was like $500 Uber ride when I was there. So even the people that are Uber driving or Airbnb and those things, those individuals are essentially out of business right now. And yeah, well, that's a choice for people. That's not the kind of choice that we have with network marketing, which is leverage. So when I first looked at network marketing at the age of 22, 30 years ago, I immediately got it. I thought, but what is not to get about this amazing concept where we can, share this product, earn a percentage on that, build a team, and literally have no limit on our income. And I think right now, more than ever, we have a responsibility as network marketers to be out there sharing what we have. For sure, we're like this in these uncertain times. Nobody knows exactly what's going to happen. We know this isn't fun. Nobody's going to go, oh yeah, this is great. I mean, the reality is what we're going through is not super enjoyable, but the beautiful thing is you have a home-based business. And I think that we really ought to be going out and talking to people and sharing with people what this business and what this product can do for them. So I have a woman who a couple of weeks ago, she purchased a training program that I have on recruiting professional people. And she said, would it be okay with you if I kept you updated on my progress? I was like, yes, I would love to hear how you're doing. So the last couple of weeks, she's been sending me text messages like every couple of days and say, hey, I reached out to 8 people. I booked 4 appointments. I did this. I booked 6 appointments. She had a question the day before yesterday that I couldn't answer on text. So I picked up the phone and called her. And I answered the question, and I said, how's it going the last few days? Because I haven't heard from you. She's like, oh my gosh. She goes, literally, everybody I'm calling and I'm saying, hey, do you keep your options open at all in terms of making money outside of what you're currently doing? Not only are they saying yes, they're saying, yes, absolutely. What is it? I absolutely want to look at whatever it is that you've got, whatever it is that you're talking about. So people are at home, they're cocooned, they're in their houses. Many people here in the US right now, for sure, are out of work. They're not going to work. They're in isolated, this social distancing thing that we're doing. And we can literally, I would right now be picking up the phone to everybody that I know saying, look, I honestly, I'd feel awful if I didn't bring what I'm doing. I can't not bring this up to you because I've got a viable option for you to be able to not only improve your health and make sure that you're protected health-wise, but also be able to start putting some extra money in your pocket. And we all know this is not an overnight change, right? You're not going to sign up into the deal today and then tomorrow you've replaced your income, but you can go out and be a servant and help people in what I believe is a significant time of need. And I've had I did 9 hours of Zoom trainings yesterday. Like I have been training and talking and speaking. Thank God my voice is holding up. And I can't tell you how many conversations I've had with people who are staying focused and not buying into laying on the couch and doom and gloom, who are just like, hey, I got nothing better to do. I might as well get focused on building my business, who are like amazed at how many people are like open. Yes, I'm open. Yes, I'm interested. Yes, I'll take a look at it. Everybody's at home. They all have the time. And those of you that were, I don't know what the deal is in Australia, whether you guys are cocooned yet and people aren't, necessarily going to work the way that they were a couple of weeks ago. But most of the world right now is home. So they're sitting there and they're going to be reachable. They need to hear from you. They want to hear from you. Somebody that's a friend that's reaching out to say, hey, how's it going? How are you guys doing through all of this? How's the fam? How's, what's up? Like literally being that ear, that person that listens to that individual and hears how they're doing. And then I would have no problem whatsoever segueing and saying, hey, Paul, listen, I got to tell you something. Carla and I have been building this business for the last 6 months. I haven't even had a chance to get to you yet. But if I could show you a business where you could work from home and you could start generating money really very, very quickly without having to go to work, is that something that you would be inclined to take a look at? I'm going to tell you right now, you're going to have a lot of people that are going to be open to taking a look at what you guys are doing with Isagenix. And look, to me, when I look across the spectrum of the entire profession, and I speak for, on average, on stages, about 40 different companies a year. So I do Zooms, trainings, webinars for probably over 100 companies a year. And you guys are a pillar in the community of network marketing. I believe that Isagenix will go down in history as being one of the greatest network marketing companies that has ever existed in network marketing. They do things right. They're a class act. They produce, I mean, look, I've been a customer for 12 years. So I had my shake this morning. I had one of those, I don't even know what they're called, the new peanut butter snacks, whatever, but those things are awesome. My kids take the products. I take the products. We've been lifelong consumers, and you know what? Again, people are thinking about their health. They're thinking about their personal, protecting their immune system. I will say also this, you guys all have to be careful. Like when you're going out into the marketplace, and this is given now or any other time, that we're not, the term that's used in the US, I don't know if you guys use this term, ambulance chasers, right? We're taking advantage of people during a dire time of need. Like there's a group of guys here in the US that bought up all this hand sanitizer. Like they drove around and bought like 17,000 bottles of hand sanitizer. And then they were selling them on Amazon and eBay until they got popped. And they ended up having to give all that stuff away. We need to do it with tact. We need to do it with class. We need to do it with compassion. But here's one thing that's not going to serve you. If you're sitting on the couch thinking that the world is falling apart, that's not going to help you. I think you need to be focused and in a good book. I think you need to be connected with active people in your organization. I know we can't be physically connected because we're doing this whole social distancing thing, but we can be figuratively connected. And that means being plugged into trainings. The fact that you're here is a great sign. This is a prime example of what I'm talking about being, the term I use is close to the fire. Like you asked me at the beginning, the beach, trees or the beach. I mean, I actually love surfing. So it's like a really hard thing for me because I grew up in the mountains. So I love to ski and I surf for like the last 30 years. So it's like, which one do I answer? Can I just do both? Right. This right now is going to be a defining moment for all of us in network marketing. And I think if we do it, and one of the reasons I train for a living is to help people uplift the level of professionalism and the way things are done. Because we've all met network marketers that don't do it the right way. And they do it in kind of a, hey, I'm having a party at my house. Come on over. We're going to serve some appetizers. We're going to have a bunch, bring your friends. And then you go over to the house, they pull out a whiteboard and they start drawing circles on it. And you're like, what is this all about? I mean, nobody likes that. That's a big turn off. That's definitely not a turn on. So I think
Todd, sorry.
Yeah, go ahead.
Just on that one there, if you guys are really keen to look at a video that Todd done about Buzz, what was his name? Buzz.
Oh my gosh, Buzzy Boxer. Are you kidding me? You've seen him?
Oh my God, that is hilarious. And it is exactly.
Actually, while we're talking, I'm gonna grab the original one off of YouTube real quick. I'll put the link in the comments section because I produced this video about 10 years ago.
But it stands to today. It's everything you've done in that video is exactly the same rules for today. Don't do it that way. But it is such a good way to learn through laughter, and it's a hilarious video, guys. You've got to watch it. But just what Todd said,
it is.
Getting your friends over and then freaking getting the whiteboard out.
People do it all the time. Like if you're involved in network marketing, if you've been in Isagenix for like 3 months and you watch this video, the funny thing is you're going to laugh and then you'll miss the next joke and then you'll miss the next. You'll have to watch it a couple times because you'll miss a few of them. I did that video making fun of the kind of silly things that people do in network marketing. So I think right now we could all use a good laugh. So after this Zoom, you're certainly welcome to go scope it out.
Awesome. And everyone is actually putting in the chat. We want to say that what you've just said about Isagenix, I got goosebumps because that's how we feel. That's how I feel about Isagenix. It runs through my blood. And yeah, I'm really proud to be part of this company. And you're so right. We've got amazing products and all of that. But yeah, I mean, I am going to let you flow. But really, just one more question that I would love to ask you right now, which is, you're saying like, we can do lots of virtual online business training. And I love that even Jen Patch I always call you Jen Patch. Sorry, Jen Shoots. She popped in there that you said, pick up the phone to people if you're going to talk about this opportunity, like it's not something that you want to just put out there on social media in a post. And that's what we're seeing a lot of. We're also seeing a lot of other companies, plus maybe a few people in our company that maybe don't have the right guidance or training around. We've got the cure for the immune system and all of that. Exactly what you said, ambulance chasers. But can you talk into what you said a few minutes ago? I loved it and I wanted to write it down. I will listen to the recording again. But you just said in flow, when you pick up the phone, you just said, "Hey, are you open?" Or what was that? It probably just comes out naturally from you anyway. But
yeah, and I'll slow it down and repeat myself. So first of all, like given what is happening right now, let's say in a normal market situation, and you're reaching out to people that you haven't yet reached out to about your business, I would have no problem doing a very direct invite and picking up the phone and saying, "Helen, Todd, how are you? What's happening? Listen, I'm in kind of a rush. I've got a bunch of stuff going on today, but Carla and I launched a business recently that we're really excited about. I'd love to show you what we're doing. If I sent you a video, would you spend 15 minutes sometime today taking a look at it? And I'll give you a call this afternoon." What is it? Listen, I got another appointment that I'm running off to. I'll send you a text message and I'll get it to you and I'll call you this afternoon. Now, that's what I would do in a normal market situation. Right now, I think we just need to take one or two steps back. And I would pick up the phone, I would call you and I would say, "Helen, how are you? What's up? How are you guys doing?" I would spend a little bit more time with you. And I'm not saying it in a normal market situation, I wouldn't do that either. But I think right now it's really important that we don't just get right into the invite, right? That you pick up a phone, you have some compassion, you listen to what you have a conversation. And by the way, we got plenty of time to do it right now, guys, right? Most of us have got more time on our hands than we ever have. And I think the best thing you can do is keep yourself busy in that time rather than sitting in front of the news or your news feed. In fact, the news feed right now is probably as bad or worse for the most part than the news. So those are two things that I've kind of turned off. I'm not saying don't be updated. Of course, tonight when I'm done with my day, get a quick update, and then I'll do probably family movie night with my kids and my wife tonight. But I do. So the approach would be simple. Listen, I found something. Like let's say right now, given what we're going on, because I know that this question has come up a lot. Should I even bring up the business? Should I even bring up the product? Or should I just sit at home and just wait it out? As I mentioned already, I really firmly believe that we are doing the world a disservice by not engaging. We need to be warriors, not worriers, okay? This is not the time, and I understand that some of you are worried, and I get that, and that's normal. But sitting in this worry, stressed out, panicky state, just ask yourself this question: Is what I'm doing, is this helping me in any way? And I've thought about that in previous times of worry in my life. I'm like, is this helping out my situation? Like, this is not helping out my situation at all. And so your family needs you, your team leaders need you, your organization needs you, and there are people that have never even heard of network marketing that need you. So I would definitely be re-engaging with people that perhaps you haven't connected with or brought Isogenics to, or even individuals that you've brought this to in the past. That maybe I brought the business to Helen in the past and she was like, not interested, not the right time. I don't want to do this. I have no interest. I would have no problem coming back to her right now and say, "Listen, I brought this business to you 6 months ago. And at that time, it was not the right time for you. Are you in a position right now where you're open to potentially taking a look at this? Because this is something you can literally do from home in your own hours without having to go to work." And I'm very firmly in belief that when you do that, I already know what's going to happen. If you do it, you're going to find more people now open than they've ever been before, whether they've been approached in the past or they haven't been approached in the past. So there's a lot of different ways you can approach people, and there's a lot of different peak interest questions. But look, again, you guys represent one of the best brands in the entire network marketing profession. 17 years in business, amazing products, an amazing corporate philosophy. And there's we've all heard the phrase, and we know we've heard it, and sometimes it gets blurred out. And that phrase is "ask and ye shall receive," right? We've all heard that. The thing that's interesting about that question is because we've heard it so much that we oftentimes don't realize the simplicity and the power in the ask. And like, even the fact that I'm here today is a prime example. Like, I put it out on Facebook. Look, hey guys, I'm going to commit all of my time, and I will dedicate, and I will do free Zooms, free calls, free webinars for anybody that reaches out to me. You just got to ask. And I got up the next morning. I said, oh my gosh, honey, I said I had over 100 people reach out to me. I spent like 14 hours that day scheduling Zooms and trainings. And I said, what, did these people just not think that I was available? She's like, no, dude, you're like one of the top trainers in the network marketing profession. They think it's going to cost a fortune just to get you to come over and do a call or a Zoom for them. I'm like, I always do Zooms. She goes, but they don't know that. I was like, oh, okay. And so, Helen reached out to me and asked, and here we are. And so if you don't ask, you don't ever get anything. You might get the crumbs, but you're not going to get anything significant. So I want to give you like 4 things that I think you should be doing right now. So these are like 4 actionable items. Number 1, I want you to decide right now that you're going to pick a number. And I want you to pick a number of reach outs, daily business reach outs with you're doing it with the intent of saying, look, I want to show you this, and give yourself a number that you can live up to without fail. In other words, like never does a day pass without me doing X. And this would be a great rule for you any time of the year where, and the number needs to be a number that you can hit every single day. It's like, I don't go to bed until I've done 5 reach outs for my business, or I don't go to bed until I've done 10 reach outs, or whatever the number is, but it has to be a number that you can hit every day. I don't think 50 is a good number. Not that that's not a good number, but the odds of you being able to do 50 reach outs every day without fail, like I'm good, I couldn't do it. So it's got to be a number that forces you to stretch a little bit, but something that you can guaranteed hit before you go to bed. And those are what I call intentional reach outs for your business. Number 2 action step, okay? And you should be doing this already anyhow. And this is one of the reasons that I've had this long history of success. I was on a radio show last year, and these guys sought me out and they vetted me big time. And they're like, look, we know you've been successful in network marketing. I didn't show them my numbers because they didn't ask for it, but like, how has your career been? I said, look, I've never had a bad year. I've like never had an implosion. Like I've had these consistent year in and year out earning years, both as a network marketer and as a trainer. And they're like, how, like we've talked to all these other people that have had these roller coaster rides. I said, well, actually the question he asked me goes, what's the one reason? I said, it's not one reason, it's 2. And I'll give you the 2 reasons. You ready? Number 1 is I never let a day pass ever without me doing some type of revenue producing activity. Even as a speaker, I'm always reaching out to top leaders. I'm reaching out to company owners every single day that I'm in my office. I'm doing some new business productive activity. That's number 1. And that's something that we should all take note of. Like every day, isn't that what we do? What else is there? If you're not reaching out to somebody to share your product or to share the business, what else is there that you're doing? I know we have to work with our teams, but here's a mistake people make. And I've coached quite a few higher level isogenics people who unfortunately fell into this trap. And this is, in fact, there's a term that I use for it. It's called the kiss of death in network marketing. And what that is the moment you go from personal recruiting and personal customer acquisition to only working with people on your team. As you grow a larger organization, you're going to have a natural demand on your time for support and assisting people and helping do presentations and all of that. But one thing you never, ever want to do is you never stop recruiting and you never stop acquiring new customers, no matter how big your organization is. So that's the one thing. The second answer that I gave this guy, and I said, this is a real reason. And this is step 2 for you. I'm a relationship builder. I build relationship capital. I'm the guy that, who reaches out to people I went to high school with, that reaches out to people that I lived near in Scottsdale, Arizona, or Long Beach, California, or Monterey, California, these different places that I live that I no longer live. I continue to keep the relationship fresh. So the way I look at a relationship, it's like a plant. In order for a plant to survive, it needs to be watered. It needs to be fertilized. And if you don't take care of your plant, it'll wither up and die. And that's really essentially the same thing that a relationship will do. If you don't tend to your relationships, they will wither over time. So it's like a bank. You can't go make a withdrawal from an empty bank account. So if the only time that you reach out to someone, and this is one of my greatest secrets to success in business, is think about this. If the only time that you call somebody, the only time that you message somebody is when you want something from them, like I'm going to show you this product again, or I'm going to try to show you this business again. If that's the only time that you ever reach out to somebody, you're not going to get anything. But if you're perceived as someone who's made an effort and you like check in on them, how you doing, what's going on, how you and the family doing, and not every time you're always bringing up the business. Because honestly, you know, I've met a lot of people out of network marketing that are not in network marketing. They're like, oh my gosh, I got a friend in network marketing. Every time I see him, that's all they can talk about. They can't ever talk about anything else. And had they like just given a little bit of, hey, how, like just normalcy, and then they came back to him again in the future, they probably would have been favorably responded to. So the second thing I would have you do, and we got plenty of time to do it. In fact, here's an exercise for you. I'm gonna do something real quick. For those of you, in fact, do this right now. This is a really powerful exercise. I've done this in front of, and if you can, if you're not on your phone, I can see who's on your phone because I can tell the vertical or whatever. Turn your camera on so I can see all of you. Grab your phone and put it in front of me so I can see it. Unless you're on your phone, you can do this later. Okay. Now do this. Open up your address book. You know where your address book is, right? Open up the address book in your phone while we're here right now. Do it. Go to the letter A. It's the beginning of your alphabet in the address book. Find the very first person where it's been at least, let's say, 6 months since you've had any conversation with that individual. Just scroll until you find the first person. Oh yeah, I know I haven't talked to that person in 6 months. I'm curious, how many of you, by a show of hands, that was the very first person on your phone? Anybody? Look at all the hands. First person on their phone. Holy smokes. The very first letter in the letter A. Some of you, I know the rest of you, it's not going to take you long to scroll. Okay. You already found them. Now open up a text message to that person right now while we're here on this Zoom. Okay. Open up a text message and in your own words, whatever it is, Helen, Todd Falcone, what is up? Holy smokes. It's been forever. We need to reconnect. How the heck are you? Whatever in your own words, not ... I've got this amazing business, or I got to tell you about this product. All this is a reconnect. It's called a re-engagement exercise. And I want you to send the text right now. Okay. Take you 2 seconds to send the text. So you're going to send the text. It's just in your own words. Oh my gosh, we got to reconnect. By the way, if it's your ex-boyfriend or girlfriend, why are they in your phone? Delete. Shouldn't be in there. If it's somebody that you never want to talk to, why are they in there? Get rid of them. The only people on my phone are people that I want to talk to at some point in time. So you're going to send the text message. Now, one of three things is going to happen. Only one of three. One, your phone's going to ring right now. Please don't answer the phone. Press the red button. And then send them a text back. Say, look, I'm just finishing up something. I'll call you back in a bit. I can't wait to talk to you. Two, they're going to text you back. And it's going to be like, OMG, holy smokes. So great to hear from you. Yes, I would love to catch up with you. Or three, they're going to say, who is this? And they're going to be like, who's this person texting me? Look, I'm glad you're showing me the phones. I can see you already sent the text message. And this is going to happen fast. So one of those three, they're going to call you, they're going to text you back, or they're going to say, when they do respond to you, who is this? And now here's the thing. This is another thing that I've done for years that I have discovered in front of audiences of as many as like 10,000 people that I've done this in front of. And like 95% of the room doesn't do this. I have notes on every single person in my phone. If I meet you, like Helen and I chatted the other day for the very first time, never spoke on the phone. I open up her contact info right now. I've got notes from the date we talked. I know how long she's been in Isogenics. I know what her prior background is. I know all the important things that I wanted to remember about Helen are in the contact record. So at some point in the future, if we didn't chat for a little bit, what if I had Helen in my phone? Oh, Helen, I know who she is, right? So like some of you right now have some guy named Dave in your phone and you're like, it just says Dave. It maybe not be Dave. It could be any name. Dave and a phone number. And you're looking at it and you're like, who's Dave? Who's Dave? I'm not even going to ask you to raise your hands because I already know many of you have people in your phone. You don't even know who they are. Paul's raising his hand. I see him. Look, here's how you get rid of that for good. First of all, how do you contact Dave? Actually, this woman sent me a message just now. This is so funny. Like, I'll see if I can find it. She, like, within the last hour, she sent it to me on my business page. I did this exercise with a group the other day. And she had this person in her phone and she didn't know who they were. And I said, well, if you got the person in your phone and you don't remember who they are, and it was Dave, let's say I'm going to just, because I got Paul in the middle of my screen. If it said Paul, I would send Paul a text message, say, hey, Paul, this is Todd Falcone. I've got your phone number in my phone. I don't even remember who the heck you are. Like, do you remember me? how did we meet? Who are you? Like, because people don't just end up in my phone. I got this guy, Paul, in there. Who are you? Where did we meet? And she had this woman who the woman remembered who she was, but she didn't remember who she was. And they're scheduled. They're like, we got it. As soon as all this is over, we're getting together. And she actually sent me the exchange that they had on their, she did a screenshot and sent it over to me. So here's the purpose of this exercise is and this is a habit that I've been in forever. All the time I'm rolling through contacts in my phone just to check in, just to say what up, just to say how you doing. And because, like, I'll give you a quick example. My friend Bart Scott, we knew each other since second grade, all the way through high school. And then we kind of lost contact for a number of years, reconnected like 12 years ago on Facebook. And I got his phone number. We've talked a number of times. We exchanged back and forth on Facebook. We don't hang out. He lives in a totally different part of the world than I do, but I've made an effort to stay engaged with Bart. If I were to pick up the phone right now and say, Bart, listen, I've been thinking about you for a little while. My wife and I launched a business that's doing really well for us. If I were to, are you at all open to taking a look at a way to make money from home, or whatever the peak interest question is? It doesn't matter. He is going to be open to it because he will have perceived me as someone who's made an effort over time. But if I reached out to Bart right now, had I not maintained that contact, and I haven't seen him since high school, which, by the way, was 1985. I graduated from high school. And I said, hey, Bart, I got this business I got to tell you about. He's like, who are you? That's creepy. Like, you're reaching out to me and just doing a business pitch and you haven't talked to me for 30 years. That's going to be not so well received. So maybe up until this point, you haven't done a really good job of maintaining at least some level of contact with people over an extended period of time. Now's your opportunity to start doing that from this point forward. And that's one of the most powerful things that you can do as a networker, because that's what this is. It's a networking business. So that's number two, is I would say right now, you're reaching out to people. Curious, show me your phones. If you've had did anybody text you back right away? Show me your phone if they texted you back. Anybody get a text back yet? Okay, I see 1, 2. I see a few of you. Okay, there's another 1, 3, 4. So definitely one of those three things is going to happen. What I want you to be able to do from this point forward is you'll never have anybody in your phone that you don't know who they are. And let me give you this one. You ready? This to me is one of the greatest separators from you and everybody else out in the marketplace. And just entertain me in the comment section here real quick. If money was no object, if you could play anytime you wanted to play, you could do whatever it is that you love to do, what would you spend all of your time doing, or a lot of your time doing? And just type it in the comment section. I'll tell you what I would be. I mean, I love to ski. I love to fish. I love to surf. I love to mountain bike. I love to hike. Those are some of my favorite things to do. I see travel, family time. I know travel is going to come up a lot, but we're not drinking. LOL. That's funny. Travel, family, being in nature, yoga. I love yoga, painting, art galleries, going to Hawaii, the beach, dogs, yoga, fitness, everything. Cool. You got a lot of interest. Love it. Okay. So here's the reason I asked you that question. Now, have you ever had a conversation with somebody and all of a sudden you hit their hot button and they like light up, and it's so easy to have a conversation because you hit their subject, and then they can't even shut up about it. It's like, that's my favorite subject. Oh my gosh, let's talk about it. Right. Especially like if you're ever dating and you find that one commonality, and it's like, it becomes easy to talk to that person. When you find out what someone's deepest passion or interest is, like, let's say, I'll just take me, for example, probably out of all the things that I do, snow skiing is number one. Okay. If you knew that Todd loves to snow ski and you were cruising around and you saw this crazy YouTube ski video and you're like, wow, that is insane. And you just copied and pasted the link and you said, hey, Todd, I just saw this, thought you would enjoy it. It's 2 minutes of amazing entertainment for me. But what it does is it goes, oh, this person knows me. This person knows who I am. You see an article, you see something, you see and it doesn't even have to be their deepest passion, but I'll tell you a very interesting quick story. I lived in Scottsdale for 5 years, and one of my neighbors, Andy Tabor, she's such an amazing human being. We last summer, my wife and kids were going to go down to Scottsdale. I don't know why they would go in the summer. It's like 110 Fahrenheit, 15 Fahrenheit. I was like, you guys go, I'm going to go camping someplace else where it's cooler. So they were going down because my kid does this like, I don't know, this lizard camp. And I go to the post office one day and I get this little package and I open it up and it's this little card from Andy. And it just says, hey, Todd, we miss you in the neighborhood. We're going to have a blast with Gianni and Joey and Carla. Wish you were here. And then I pull this stuff out and it's these Bob Ross socks. I don't know if you know who Bob Ross is, but he was this painter with his giant hair back in the day. And he was on PBS. By the way, if you're ever stressed out, just go to YouTube and like go look up Bob Ross and watch him do one painting. And you'll be like, oh, the life is so good. Happy little trees, happy little clouds. Everything's going to be okay. I'm telling you, that's the greatest stress reliever ever. And it's not like I'm way into Bob Ross, but like 5 years ago, I was Bob Ross on Halloween. And so she was in the store and she saw these Bob Ross socks. She was like, Todd. And it was like $5 or something, but she put it in a little package. It wasn't my birthday. It wasn't some special day. It was just a day. And I'm telling you right now, if Andy called me in August, and it's opposite here, August is really hot. I know that we have opposite seasons, 115 degrees Fahrenheit. You can do the calculation on it. Let's just say it's probably like 48 degrees Celsius probably. It's very hot. If she called me in the middle of summer and said, hey, can you come and help me and Justin move? First of all, I don't help anybody move at my age. I'll help you hire movers if you need it. But if she actually picked up the phone and said, would you help us move? I would literally pay my own airline ticket, fly down and sweat my body off helping them move because of how she's made me feel. And so these are like little things that make the biggest difference. We've got to be doing things to build relationship capital. And so in my notes with people, like if I know you're into something, it's in my notes. Like that's my passion. Because then it's going to make me remember, oh, if I'm cruising around, like my sister loves peppers. It doesn't matter if it's a jalapeno pepper, red pepper, green pepper, blue pepper. It doesn't matter. If there's a pepper, she likes them. She's just into peppers. And I was in the store and I saw these pepper lights. And immediately I go, oh, Stacy. Packaged them up, sent them off to her. Wasn't her birthday. And she's my sister, so she loves me anyhow. But how deeply impactful was that? Like, hey, I saw these, thought about you. And I'm not saying we're going out buying friends or anything like that. That's not what we're doing here. But if we have to be caring individuals. And so number one, okay, I'm going to go back so you guys don't get lost on these 4 things. Number one, you need to pick a number that you can stick to every single day where you're doing specific reach outs for your business. Number 2, you need to be doing daily reach outs to re-engage, to reconnect with people. Not necessarily talk about the product or the business, not that you can't, but the intention of that reach out is to specifically just connect. Number 3 is I would suggest to you that you begin your day doing the hardest task. And when it comes to network marketing, don't tell me I don't know what the hardest task is. So I'm going to tell you, the hardest task is that person on your chicken list. The one that you're like, oh, they make so much money. They're so successful. They would never do this. The hardest prospect is the one you want to get to in the morning. The one it's funny because it's the one you really want to talk to, but you're intimidated to talk to them because how you think they're going to respond to you. And let me also share this with you really quickly. Until you've gone up the socioeconomic chain, because we put people on pedestals all the time. We look at that person who's got this big house and all these cars and all this stuff, and the most successful, they run these 6 businesses or whatever they do. Oh, they would never do isogenics. Why would they do this? You don't know until you ask. And I would say that you do that. If you start your day with the hardest task, you're going to have an amazing day. And I also know when you decide to do this, you're going to be mind blown at the receptivity, because successful people don't close their eyes and ears to opportunity. And I'll tell you, I started doing this because I made the mistake. I don't know how many of you have ever watched the movie Wall Street, the original Wall Street, Gordon Gekko. So my friend married the daughter of Gordon Gekko. So not that Gordon Gekko is a made up character, but the character that he portrayed was, I'm not going to mention his name, but at the time he was the 4th wealthiest guy in the state of Texas. And Texas is a very rich state. So he married his daughter. I was playing golf with this guy like 4 or 5 days a week. I met him at a Bible study in Pacific Grove, California. And I know his net worth was easily over 100 million just because of the trust fund that she got. And he was trading cars in left and right. And the guy was blowing money everywhere. And I never brought up my network marketing business to him. I played golf with the guy 4 or 5 days a week. He knew I was involved in network marketing, but I never actually asked him. And then one day he says to me, he called me up on the phone. He said, Todd, he goes, do you know who Everett O'Keefe is? And I go, yeah, I do. He goes, yeah, well, he's on your 6th level. I'm on your 7th. Why didn't you tell me about this? And I was just like, I honestly said, because I'm stupid. I don't know. I don't know. I just thought you would never do it. And the thing is, people don't do network marketing just for the money. They do it for different reasons. So some of these very successful people are some of the best people that you can be reaching out to. So I would say number 3 is do a reach out to the most successful person that you've been thinking about, they've been on your mind, but you just haven't taken it to. Give them a chance to say yes or no to you. I think you'll be pleasantly surprised at the response you're going to get. And lastly, and I think this is really important now more than ever before, is you need to be spending a minimum of 30 minutes a day with focus, personal growth, reading a great book, watching an amazing video, listening to some audio that's inspiring you, that's growing you, that's helping you to develop your skills. And the most important part of that is that you apply what you've learned. People go to events, they read books, they watch videos, and they, like the phrase, Sir Francis Bacon coined the phrase, knowledge is power. And I'm going to disagree with him, and he can't argue with it. He's dead many decades ago, right? So he can't argue with me, and so that's fine. But I don't think knowledge is power. I think knowledge is nice. It's the application of the knowledge that is power. So there's a phrase that I use, soak and apply. Soak in the information, but most importantly, apply it into your business. So you're reading a book. It gives you a great idea. Okay, how can I apply this into my Isogenics business today? That's the important thing. And now more than ever, like this is a straight up mindset game. You got to have, in fact, here's my formula for success. It's MASS. It's mindset plus action plus skill set equals success. How we feel about what we do, how we feel about the profession of network marketing, how we feel about our company, our products, how we feel about ourselves and our ability to do this. And then we couple that with action that we do so skillfully. That's what creates success. And I got good news for you. I got great news for all of you. You ready? Everything we do in this business is learnable. I started out as a stuttering, sweaty, nervous wreck 22-year-old kid. I don't stutter, but I stuttered. My mouth would be dry. My heart would be pounding. I was scared to death. I could hardly recruit anybody to save my life. I even had a guy early on. You ready for this? I prospected this guy. I totally remember this call. And you know how you get nervous, your mouth gets all dry? I'm at my desk, and my mouth is like a desert. It's like click, clack, clack, clack. And this guy says to me, can you please take a drink of water? He goes, all I can hear is your mouth clicking. And I was so embarrassed. It was like, oh my gosh, really? Like I knew what was happening. But from that point forward, I kept this giant thing of water with a straw, and I was like constantly lubricating my mouth until the nervousness went away. So here's the thing. You don't see that now. Natalie Cole has a quote, and I think it's very accurate. Everyone sees the glory. They don't know the story. So they see you now where you're at, and it must have always been that way, but they have no idea of the journey that you've gone through to get there, the ups and the downs, the challenges, the tough times, the good days. All they see is where you are. Like people see me on stage, they're like, dude, you are powerful on stage. Oh my gosh. I'm like, oh yeah, you should have seen me the first time. I literally almost peed my pants on stage. I didn't, but I almost did. And if you could have seen me prospecting 20 years ago and now, and I'll tell you one last thing, and I know we're getting ready to run out of time. I've had a couple of epiphanies in my life. Like we all have those aha moments. In 1991 is so funny. I've been in this business for so long. 1991, I was at the Bonaventure Hotel in Los Angeles with like 5,000 people, this big seminar. And the leader of our company, I was like, oh man, this guy has got, like, he was multimillionaire, amazing on the platform, like one of the greatest mentors I've ever had in my life. he put this video up of him doing a whiteboard presentation in 1986 with an ugly suit, a bad tie, just terrible hair. I don't even hardly have any left, so it doesn't matter. But and doing a whiteboard presentation, but back then the pens were squeaky. So every time you wrote, I don't know if anybody can remember that, but back then it was like drawn on the whiteboard, and it was like noisy. And I'm sitting here looking at him on the stage and looking at him 5 years earlier, and I'm like, wait, if that guy could go from there to there in 5 years, I've got a chance. I was like, light bulb. If I do 5% of what that guy does, I have a chance. So look, you guys, you can learn to do this business if you focus on getting better at it. If you have a desire to improve, if you work on improving, which most people in this business, they don't work on improving. I think every single day you should be practicing, you should be working on your craft. And then the last thing that I learned and it was another big epiphany to me, when I first started network marketing, and I've always been this way, I've always been serious about my business. I never treated it like a hobby. But the first couple of years I really struggled, and I really struggled because I was too serious. I was grinding. And there was a skit that he did, and my sponsor was sitting next to me. I'll never forget this. And I look at him, and as he finished the skit, he looked at me and he goes, "That's you, Falcone." And I had already gotten it. It was like, I was serious about the business, but I was so grinding. I was like, not even having nobody wanted to join me. It's like, dude, you're too serious. Be serious, but lighten up, have a good time. We should enjoy this journey. Even in the midst of what we're going through right now, people need a smile. They need a laugh. They need a lending ear. And I just appreciate you guys. I'm telling you again, and I don't say this for every company because I can't. I mean, it's not the truth. But I will tell you right now, I think Isagenix is one of the greatest companies in the entire profession. You guys represent an amazing brand. And now is the time for you to take action. Do it tactfully. Do it right. But don't sit on your butt doing nothing, because that ain't going to help you. It's not going to help your future. And we need to be warriors, not warriors. So I really appreciate the opportunity to be in here, Helen, and have an opportunity to share with this group.
Amazing. Honestly, if I hadn't been on mute, I've been laughing, belly laughing. Your stories are amazing and funny, and you're very, I'm really, really feel connected right now. But as you said the other day, it's not the time to sit on the couch to eat bonbons.
No.
And I laughed and I thought, bonbons. Okay, then maybe bonbons to you are different to bonbons to me. But
what a bonbon's like a chocolate covered piece of ice cream, right? I don't know what a bonbon is.
Yeah, so in Ireland we have bonbons there's like a frosty. Anyway, it's a lolly. It's a sweet. But I could see people doing it. I envisioned it in my head and I couldn't stop laughing. I think I repeated that about 5 times after I spoke to you the other day. But can I ask you one more question, if that's okay? But
of course, yeah.
And this is from the Mac Daddy himself, from Paul McEnany. I call him Mac Daddy. What has been the absolute best piece of advice that you've ever received from a mentor in your business?
It's very simple. And I mean, I don't even have to pause to think about it. It's don't ever quit.
Yeah.
You just can't. I mean, we've all heard it. Don't ever quit. Quitters never win. Winners never quit. But look, I could have given up so many times. I didn't make money the first 2 years I was involved in network marketing, and there have been many times, and there were many people that during that same time frame quit. And I just it's so simple. But the other thing is, sometimes people are looking for the magic ingredient, the magic secret. Network marketing is not that complicated. I understand. I clearly understand what network marketing is because I've done it my entire life. But technically, it's not that challenging. It's hard work for sure, but if you just keep going, and I think that was the thing when I started, I just never quit. I just never gave up. I thought, if that guy can do it, I'm going to do it. I was stubborn, and I just never quit. And I'm so thankful that I never quit, because my life has been so altered as a result of just staying through until it finally happened for me. And it's going to happen for you on your own timeline. And I promise you, some of you will have moments of frustration, and that's a learning opportunity. That's a time for you to go, okay, what can I learn from this, and how can I grow from this? But just don't ever give up. Stay focused.
Awesome. And you know, Todd, we also touched on the other day, and I'm not going to go into this part too much, but recently we've had a bit of pain within our some of our businesses. Some of our businesses have seen a little dive. We've had leaders leave, etc. And you've done an incredible video online. If you haven't seen that already, guys, I think most of you have at this stage. But you really spoke into, leaving your company or moving forward, but doing it with class and go silently and quietly. But just right now, I know that there's a lot of people on the call and who will listen to the recording who do feel like right now it's just all too hard. It's just, and as you said, don't give up. But what would be your biggest tip to them right now, just to stay in the game? Like, what's that one thing?
Okay. First of all, I have to say this. Okay. You guys have never had an adjustment in the history of Isogenics. Never. Not until the last couple of years. And then you've had a couple of people recently that I know have left and gone elsewhere. The greatest companies in the entire network marketing profession will have people leave. Okay. That's part of the business. You could be on a vertical, even like when you guys were going from 600 to 800 to 900, when you're on that vertical growth scale, there were people that were leaving the company at that time. So that's something that's normal. You just have to understand that the way to, I honestly, you know what I look at it? It's like the pruning of the tree. In order for your company to bear bigger fruit, that was necessary pruning. And yeah, it could be easy to get caught up in somebody leaving and going someplace else. And I know that they've done it not in a good way. And it can be disturbing to the entire audience, if you will. But again, you just got to know that you're in the right place at the right time. The company knows what they're doing. They're making the right decisions. You got to be, regardless of whether somebody left or not, here's my overall philosophy is you got to focus on working with the people that are focused on producing, and the ones that aren't, you stay away from those people. Okay. So in every company, during every situation, there's always people that are coming up with every reason to do. And there's always a group of people that are coming up with every reason not to do. Like I said, do what the doers are doing. Don't do what the don'ters are doing. But, look, and the other thing is, I'll end with this. Those little pains of, when somebody leaves and goes someplace else, those little disruptions, if you will, they only last for a few weeks and then they're gone. Okay. This is like not this never ending thing. It only lasts for a few weeks and it's not fun. But then it's over and it's like, oh, who was that person? I don't even remember.
Right. I love it. And that's exactly that's what's happened within our team. We've become stronger. In the last couple of weeks, I mean, last week we had over 125 new customers just in our little team. Like it's been incredible because we built the community in the beginning. We have that beautiful culture within our team and within Isogenics. So yeah, totally agree with you there. But is there anything that you would like to leave everybody on? And guys, I just wanted to say before Todd leaves us with one of his one-liners or two-liners, I just want to say to you guys, follow him on Facebook. And this is not a promotional training or anything like that. I'm not trying to promote Todd. I think you guys, I can see by the chat that you're already totally enamored with him. But just, follow him on Facebook. He has some incredible teachings. He does lives. He gives out free content. But also, if you're really serious about, growing and learning, then, I would definitely give this guy a follow. Todd, do you want to leave the guys with anything? Sorry. And sorry, I'm tongue-tied today. I'm a bit nervous.
Nervous? Come on.
Yeah, no, truly. I'm not good at this. I'm great with people. And that's another thing. Like we've got an organization of, almost 70,000, and I can talk to people, but when it comes to interviews, this is the part that I'd like to become better at, because I do get tongue-tied, and that's my little thing.
Well, you're doing an amazing job. You guys can plug in to me on Facebook. You can find my website. I put out a free video every week on my site. It's just myname.com, and it's free. There's like hundreds of free videos that you can, feed. Everyone is a chunk of usable content to succeed in network marketing. I think I've probably produced over 700 videos on that page alone. If you want a good laugh, I put the link to that Buzzy Boxer video. It's called Business Opportunity Spoof. You can find that on YouTube. You'll definitely get a good laugh out of it. And I just want to say thank you. I appreciate you guys for having me on, and, get to work, stay focused. People need to hear from you right now, and they need to know that that your head's in the game and in the right place. So it's time to step up, not step down. So I got another Zoom that literally starts right now, so I'm going to fly. But thank you again so much. Great day, everybody. Appreciate you.
Thank you, guys. Thank you. Everyone have a really great day. Thank you so much for joining.
Thanks, Ellen.
Thanks, Eve.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Helen, you're
Thanks,
nice.
Ellen.
Thank you.
Thank you. This was amazing.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Thomas.